Hi everyone, it's Melanie from Living Luxuriously for Less, and today I am back with the grand finale of my wedding video series, and it is called Fall in Love. And in this video I will be offering fall wedding tips and ideas. I absolutely love the fall season, and let me tell you, when I was planning my wedding, one of the first and most important things to me was location. And Georgia's 217 was the most beautiful location for this romantic themed wedding. Which brings me to tip number 1, and that is use your negotiating power. The fall is not really a common time for weddings such as June and July, summer and spring weddings, and so a lot of times venues will offer a cheaper rate for getting married during the off season. So make sure that you ask all of your vendors for discounts or rates if you decide to get married in the off season. Tip number 2 is to establish the ambiance. As I said before, this wedding was a romantic themed wedding. It was an older couple, and they just wanted it to be all about love and laughter and romance. So her favorite color was red, and so we had red uplighting. The room was very romantic, and I mean the mood was just absolutely set for love. Now in this footage you see the 4 roses laying in the chair, where those were part of us delivering tip number 3, and that's delivering the unexpected. Now the bride and groom wanted to honor their loved ones that had passed along and were not able to be with us in the spirit, in the physical, on their wedding day, and so we chose to do a ceremony of roses to honor those individuals, and it was so beautiful. It was a way to incorporate the children and grandchildren. Everyone loved it, and if you'd like to know more about that, leave it down in the comments below and I will definitely elaborate more. Which brings us to tip number 4, and that is I do DIYs. DIYs are such a fun way to do projects and cut back on costs, and to also customize special pieces for your wedding day. And we did a few DIYs for this wedding, one of them being the sand ceremony set that you see here. I have a full video that I will link down below if you're interested in that. We also did a DIY on glitter letters, and if you're interested in that, you'll see them later in this video, but I will link that down below as well. Because of the feel of this wedding, we had one big room, and she had less than 100 guests. So what we did is that we divided the room in half, and half of the room was where the actual ceremony was held, and the other half of the room that you see here is where the reception was held. The venue was absolutely beautiful. The ceilings, the chandeliers, I mean everything about it said romance, and the ambiance was absolutely perfect for this romantic themed fall wedding. Now you want to make sure when you're having your wedding and your reception in the same venue that you have the logistics worked out. You don't want your guests to have to move chairs from one side of the room to the other. I think that is probably not the best option if it's the only option you have. You want to think of a way to create like a cocktail hour so that when your guests are waiting, you can kind of put them in a separate area while you're moving chairs. But if not, you guys, you want to make sure that you can kind of have that all set up logistically. Now here are the centerpieces that I created for this wedding. I added a little bit of bling to the roses, and we have candlelight. It was again very romantic. We decided to do the estate tables, and so those are the really long tables, and a great way to cut down on costs as well, because when you do estate tables you can do fewer centerpieces, and when you have fewer centerpieces it's a lower cost. Another way to create a very elegant wedding is to use different napkin folds to just kind of add an added layer to the wedding. And my final tip number 5, and that is to focus on love. That is what your wedding day is about. don't be so stressed out about all the little details, because to be perfectly honest with you, at the end of the day, most people probably won't notice it, or they probably won't remember it. But as long as you focus on love, that is the most important thing. And so what I wanted to do was create a focus, a sweetheart table to focus on my couple, their cake, and all the things, that were really unique to their day. And I apologize for the lighting, but this is the lighting flashing back and forth. And I actually had this video recorded in the true lighting and the true ambiance of the room. Looking back, I would have probably done something different. But going back to my tip, you just want to focus on your day, focus on love, focus on what's important, and focus on what you want the couples to know about you. For them, this couple wanted everyone to know that they were madly in love, that they were, hopeless romantics, and that's what this day conveyed. Again, Rachel did this cake. She always does most of my treats unless otherwise stated, but she did an absolutely phenomenal job on this wedding cake. It was so beautiful, and all the roses that you see here were actually edible. And here's another look of the room. Now this is from the view from the reception area over to the wedding area. I like the fact that I had them turned 2 different ways and that the columns kind of divided the two, but I wanted to give you guys a look from that particular wall. So here are some centerpieces, hydrangeas, some bling, and roses with bling, candles, lots of candle lights. Again, you guys, we were focusing on being romantic, and the Dollar Tree is a great resource. Those tall cylinder jars are great for creating candlelight, and when you have venues that are very restrictive on the type of candles, or open flame candles, those are great resources to use. Here's another overview of the sweetheart table area along with the cakes, and this is with the dimmed lighting. It was really, really romantic. So I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Russell for allowing me to put together this beautiful day. I also want to thank Sharonda Russell. If it were not for you, girl, I would not have been able to make any of this possible. She did almost all the decorations that you see here, you guys. She just practically took the vision out of my head, and I was there. As you guys know, I'm recovering, so I was just there pointing, and she was my brain, my right brain, my left brain, my right hand, my left hand, and I absolutely thank God for having her on my team. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment box below. Tell me what aspect of the wedding you enjoyed most, and any other wedding fall tips that you'd like to see, leave them down below, and I'll be sure to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook. It's Living Luxuriously for Less. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us here on YouTube. We'd love to have you as a part of the Lux for Less family. Until next time, it's Melanie. Bye-bye.